The word is out. The International Council for Harmonization of Technical Requirements for Pharmaceuticals for Human Use, or as we all know it, ICH, has released ICH E6 Revision 3 on good clinical practice. The changes were quite extensive, so I decided to do a review myself and share my summary with you to help you in your review and understanding. This video is just to highlight in broad what the changes were. To get my detailed review, you can read my article where I compared Revision 2 with Revision 3. First, the layout is new. GCP had a total facelift. The glossary was moved to the back and annexes were introduced. I believe the annexes were introduced as an additional way or easier way which they can later add information as innovations emerge. It's also there to provide more information on how the GCP principles actually needs to be applied in various trial designs. There's a total new section, Section 4, on data governance. There were big changes made in the investigator section and the sponsor section. As I said, the glossary is now at the back, and at the very end, you will see the 3 appendices. The appendices is discussing the investigator brochure, protocol and amendments, as well as essential documents, which is now referred to as essential records. If I had to highlight one change per section, I would say if you look at the principles section, Revision 2 principles is not deleted, but it is combined and moved around into 11 new principles that is now applied and more explained to incorporate various trial designs. Secondly, the ethics section, there's not much change, but for the first time, GCP is actually implementing and talking about assent. In the investigator section, a lot of positive changes. I believe the changes are there to assist the site in the documentation burden. And if I could only choose one, I would say my favorite was the one on deviations, where it actually now stipulates that only important deviations, the one that's impacting on participant safety and data integrity, needs to be explained and a CAPA implemented, a corrective action or preventative action plan. In the sponsor section, there was also a lot of changes. And there's actually a new section on sponsor responsibility. If I should highlight one section, I would say it is that the sponsor is now requested to open up their design period, where they design the protocol to a wider stakeholder range of participants, investigators, and CROs to actually help design the protocol and the informed consent to ensure that it is more clear, not so complex, and actually doable. The glossary, there were few changes in some of the definitions. Some were deleted, some were added, and some were combined. But I think the most pertinent one that stood out for me is that GCP actually now refer to participants and not subjects anymore. Essential documents, it's now called essential records, and I believe that is to also incorporate data and electronic records and not just documents or hard copies. Reading through Revision 3, there were key terminology or so-called buzzwords that keep on popping up throughout this whole revision. And that was quality by design, right from the start. Sponsor needs to have a risk proportionate design, also in the monitoring plan and data management plan. They speak about a team design, so opening up to stakeholders and getting their input. The protocol and study must be feasible and doable, and all the systems implemented must be fit for purpose. In summary, I believe the changes all to be very positive. I think GCP wants to enable the use of different technologies and also be applicable to various trial designs. The guideline is now media neutral, and I believe this will help with diversity in clinical trials and also opening up the trial access to a wider population. The scope is clear. ICH GCP applies to interventional clinical trials with investigational product. And despite all the changes, I think the emphasis remains more than ever on quality by design to ensure participant safety and data integrity. For a detailed summary of all these changes made, you can read the article on LinkedIn or visit our website.